Quatanah, can you tell us what BU really means to you?
What it really means to me or what it really means.
What it really means to you?
To me, BU it means everything because everyone really do deserve the basics. Like I remember a time texting my dad, like, hey, I need some pads. And he didn't respond, and I called him and he didn't answer. So my mama took me to his house and I was knocking on his door and he didn't answer. And I just needed some pads.
Yeah.
Now, of course, my mama bought me pads, but it was like I shouldn't have to beg for basic necessities. I shouldn't even. My mama shouldn't even have to buy me the pads. Those pads should have been free. Those are basic things that I can't help that I have a beard. If it was my choice, you can have a beard. I wouldn't even have one. So it's basic things that I needed that I kind of I mean, I was grateful enough to have them. I did have those things, but I'm looking at my situation like, yeah, I had my mama to fall back on.
Yeah.
Some people don't have a mama, a dad, a sister, a cousin. Some people don't have a village, a support system to fall back on, and that's where BU comes.
Okay. So when we're really talking about BU, can you explain to the audience your concepts of unsheltered? Because when many people think about someone who does not have a reliable place to stay, they think about homelessness, but you use the word unsheltered. So can you share more about that?
So I like to say unsheltered because homeless, it just doesn't sound, just because I'm unsheltered, I'm not my situation. So I still have some type of dignity about myself. So unsheltered just sounds a little better to me. It's still, I'm still a person. I still have an identity. I still matter. I still deserve love, care, and everything else. I'm just in a situation right now that doesn't define who I am or the type of love or that I deserve from people around me. When you say, oh, look at a homeless person, a lot of kids are scared when you say that. So you have to educate your kids on the people that are unsheltered around, because all of them are not mentally ill. All of them are not on drugs. Sometimes it's just, I was already staying in my car because rent was too high. And then I got laid off and lost my job. Unemployment taking forever to kick in. They don't have nowhere to go. Like, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm in my car. I'm unsheltered, and I have to think about paying my car insurance or making sure I have something to eat or making sure I have this or making sure I have that. When I was pregnant, high risk very early. My husband had to work 2 jobs. So it was like nobody's here to take care of me. I'm on bed rest.
Right.
So we were unsheltered. My in-laws hate when I say that, but we were fortunate enough that you guys had space for us to come to where we were able to still be together. And we had food, water, we had the shelter, but it still wasn't a place of our own. So we were unsheltered in that time. I was taking up your space. I was, invading in your space. I was in your area, eating your food. I'm in your home.
Yeah.
So I was unsheltered. It just wasn't a on the street situation because I had a village to fall back on. When you see people on the street, some of them just didn't have that village to fall back.
I can respect that. So tell me, how do you believe we could shift from temporary relief to sustainable empowerment? Yeah, because a lot of people, like you said, when we talk unsheltered or when we talk people being homeless, that's temporary, right? So we know that people have to go to homeless shelters, but the rules and regulations may say you only can stay here for 60 days. You only can stay here for 90 days. Or I'm going to give you this training, but only if you have a voucher from the city to learn this, right? Or we're willing to do these things, but how would you say that BU is different again in reference to that sustainable empowerment of the individual? So not just giving them the pad, but like pouring into them to be able to have longevity.
I would say where I am right now is really just because even if you're not necessarily unsheltered, I'm not out there asking, hey, are you unsheltered? Are you unsheltered? I'm just asking, hey, you want a meal? Can you eat fish? Can you eat chicken? I have this, and this. Would you like it? I have this and this. Would you like it? So, because again, people don't always look at their situation. And sometimes people see people like, how they home? They got a phone. How they this? They got that. Look at them. I don't I don't have to look like that. You struggling, you behind on your bills. Your lights just got turned off. Do you look like your lights just got turned off? Do you look like you want to go pay to go plan? No. So why do I have to look like I'm sleeping on this bench? I don't have to look like that.
Right.
I still want to be able to get me a job. I want to be able to come up from something. So if I could look like something and people won't judge me and I can, I could present myself more presentable to you, then maybe I could get out of my situation. So help me work on my appearance and my outer and that I'm okay and provide me with some type. If I'm not home, I'm not trying to steal from you. I'm trying to come in here and get a job. I'm not wandering around your establishment begging for food. I look decent. I'm coming in here asking you for an application.
Yeah.
So it's just really just making them feel like themselves again, be you, just making them feel like you still matter, you can still come out of it. You don't necessarily have to look like that.
Right.
So if I see you, like I just did a drive 2 Fridays ago. It was 2 people, it was very hot, we were under heat advisory. They were on a corner by OD. I wasn't sure if they were or not, but I said, hey, I have so and so, would you like it? The one lady, she said, I'm blessed, thank you so much. I appreciate what you're doing. The man was like, yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. So it was just like, hey, it wasn't, no, I don't need that. She's like, I'm blessed, give it to someone else, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And you just keep it, just keep it moving from there. But just being there to help, like my plan is to be, when I set up shop, you're gonna know I'm gonna be here in this location every Monday. So every Monday between this time and this time, you can come and you can get you a hot meal, you can get you a snack pack for later. You can get you some deodorant, some socks, some gloves, a Scully, or if I don't have necessarily what you need, if you need some pants or a shirt, and I don't have it, you let me know, and I'm gonna try my hardest to make sure I get it. So long as you come back to here, when I come back to here, my goal is to have what you needed.
Yeah.
If if you're looking for a home or if you're looking for certain resources, I really don't have it, but I can connect you with what you're looking for. I can give you that resource. So
Yeah. I can see exactly what you're saying there because it kind of reminds me of when we talked about commitment, right? And so what you're really saying in reference to the sustainable empowerment is you being committed as the leader, you being committed as the founder of your nonprofit organization to be inside of a space where you, like you said, if I'm here on Monday and I'm willing to be committed, you see that you can create sustainable empowerment because now you're showing them I'm committed, you commit, we commit together, and now we both can show up here, right? And I think that is the power of empowerment, is that I know with your organization, you work on the mindset, right? Simply by helping people shift and see again, it's not homeless, it's unsheltered, right? It's not, don't see these people in a bad light just because they don't have these things. See these people in a positive light. And again, the relatability. That's one thing I love about you and love about your organization is that you have that level of relatability to say, I'm able to see almost myself inside these people's shoes. So now you give, not again just with the intent of if I give, I can write this off in taxes, but more so if you give, you know that they'll be empowered to say they're not just bound to this experience the rest of their life, that this is just temporary and that they can make it out of it. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Now I want to ask you this question. So given that BU focuses on restoring dignity, right? What does dignity actually look like beyond the basic necessities?
well, I guess I want to say it would depend on the person.
Okay.
Because everyone has their own perspectives of, what they consider it. So I guess it's for me, if it's what I'm trying to give back to them, I want them to feel like they matter.
Yeah.
That's where it comes in for me. Because I don't have to do it. I'm doing it because I really do want to.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's really your situation, because some people always say, well, some people make a living out of that. They're not really, they just be out there begging. That's between them and their God.
Right.
But between me and mine, if he put it on my spirit to do it, I'm gonna follow those instructions and I'm gonna do exactly what he's telling me to do.
Yeah.
And I take pride and joy, like I'm happy, I feel fulfilled when I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Even just riding around looking for people, passing out this, passing out that. It's like, dang, I wish I could do a lot more. So I'm thinking, well, what's next? Well, what's next? So what's next? So it's really just letting them know that you mad that you're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might look like this, but hey, that could have been me if I didn't have this or I didn't have that, or me and my husband would have had to live separately. My mother had room, but it would have been tight.
Yeah.
Both of us. So good thing his parents had the room for the both of us, so we were able to stay together. But you have people, they're not able to stay together. Families are separated, things happen, but just to let them know, I see you where you at.
Yeah.
I'm not judging you for where you at.
Right.
But I see you for where you're at.
Yeah.
They see them too.
Exactly. That then leads me into the question of, how would you say that people who have lived with the experience of being unsheltered, how can they become leaders in their solution, right? Because again, like we spoke about, many people see individuals as homeless or unsheltered, and they think, and maybe even the unsheltered individuals may think temporarily in that moment, this is my life forever, or I'm not good, I can't be a leader, I can't do any of that. How would you say that, and be you as the leader, what is your mindset on empowering individuals who are in that moment now to help them see that they can be more?
It might sound like a cliche, showing up.
Yeah.
If I continue to show up, even if at first people probably like, oh, she just trying to do this for an image, or she just whatever. People always say they're gonna help, but people don't really come out to help. But if you see that I'm really committed and I'm showing up, whether it's 10 of y'all, 15 of y'all, 1, 2, or 3, I'm here. If it's only 3 and I'm at my closing time and I still got all this left, hey, here, you could take what you it's I'm just out here to do.
Yeah.
I'm really just out here to do it. So I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
So if I show up for you, how can you not show up for you? That's the first step. I'm gonna show up for you and I'm gonna keep showing up.
Yeah.
And if you allow me to build that rapport with you, I'll start to know kind of or see what you need or what it is, what direction you're trying to go. And then it'll be on me to make sure I try to bridge those connections. Now, if you don't take them, I still did my part to put it out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm necessarily gonna just give up, but I'm gonna meet you where you're at. I can't force you to want something or want this or to want that. But if I see that that is what you want, if you're showing me, hey, yeah, I'm really not trying to be here for real. Oh, I'm with you all the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Can you provide your perspective on the shift that it has taken for you as already having one business and then creating the nonprofit? What would you say has been the biggest shift for you as a business owner, as when you have a regular line of business, especially like a skincare product, it's I make it, I sell it. I make it, I sell it. I make it, I sell it. I tell people what to do in my business and we go from there. But a nonprofit journey is very different, right? Because as we know, you have to have a board, you have to show up more as a leader, you have to take approach in the reins. And then also a lot of people are under the impression that they have this good business idea, but they jump and say, I'm gonna do a nonprofit because they think it takes the responsibility off of them, but nonprofits have to make money as well, literally to be a business. So as a creator of a LLC business and then a nonprofit organization, what advice would you give an individual who has the desire to do both?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I still need advice for myself. So get all the help that you can get.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help or accept the help that you need, because I thought, okay, because I saw I was able to do all the paperwork and everything for my LLC. I did all that on my own. So it was nothing. But trying to start this nonprofit, it was like, oh yeah, we need some help.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I really was about to say, I just could really keep doing how I'm doing it and not turn it into a business, turn it into a nonprofit, because it wouldn't be as stressful with me. I started with just, because I don't like to throw food away. So I literally started from taking out leftovers, warming them up, plating them up, passing them out. That's how I started. We're not throwing this away. Oh, this chicken about to go bad or whatever, we ain't ate it yet. We're not, okay, we gonna cook it, we gotta pass some stuff out, we gotta make what we gonna make, pass it out. We got some chips, we got some juice, whatever we have in here that we know we're not gonna utilize.
Yeah.
Why are we holding on to it?
Right.
Let's go ahead and pass it out. So that's even how it started, just taking what I had, going from there. But then it was like, they don't always deserve just the leftovers. They deserve. So that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna go get some meat. I'm gonna go get some this. I'm gonna go get some this. I'm gonna go get some this. And then I started posting it, and people started donating. So I started getting back the money that I was putting out. So it was really just my time that I was giving.
Right.
So that's what made me really like, okay, well, I really could turn this into something, but it got hard having to organize a board, set up these meetings, and trying to find people that you trust, that trust your vision, that will not try to take your vision from you.
Yeah.
But also finding people that are not yes men. I don't need someone that's just going to say, yeah, yeah, yeah. I need someone that's going to tell me what it is and what it's not for real. So I'm literally still building my board, still trying to have that meeting. But within that, I haven't just sat there and focused solely on that part of it.
Yeah.
I'm still got my boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Still out there. So I just did one 2 weeks ago. I actually planned on doing something. If not later on tonight because of the rain,
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow pass out some meals because I have some food left over from a party. Yeah, I have enough to make about 15 plates. I'm gonna plate them up, go pass them out, call it a day.
Yeah.
So really just get the help that you need.
Yeah.
I don't like asking for help, but with starting this nonprofit, I had to ask. I had to ask for help. It was no way I could do this right by myself.
Yeah. What you're saying right there is so powerful for the listeners, right? Because the truth of the matter is when we go from even just like 0 to 18, right? From like a young woman, and then when we go to 18 to 30 or so, right? Like there's a development. And even within that development, because we know a lot comes on right there, right? Like you said, you might get married, you might have children, you might go off to college and get a degree, you might get the job of your dreams. Yeah, all these things that come and they challenge the person who we used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it really took for you to start to challenge yourself and say, even though the old version of me may have been more comfortable to say, I don't like to ask for help. Even though the old version of you may have been like, well, I'm not going to really tell many people about my nonprofit because if Candace try to take my nonprofit, we're going to have a problem. And that's what they do. It's like you found yourself, even though you would have some thoughts or even realities pop inside of your mind, you release those limited beliefs and got back into alignment with your purpose. Because I believe true that is why I love helping women create their businesses and grow their businesses, because many people will create. Many people say they want to start a nonprofit. Many people want to do skincare line. Many people want to be a coach. Many people want to help, right? I found all the time running to people, well, what do you think your purpose is? Oh, my purpose is to help. Duh, we're humans. Everybody's purpose is to help. Like that's how we are innately made. But there has to be a separation in the individual who's willing to say again, at first you notice I can do this as a hobby. But then when that grind starts to get real and you start to say, okay, now I have to level up and have a higher level of responsibility, instead of folding, you're saying ask for help. Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about, because I remember I was mentioning this, and we don't talk too often about this. So I'm gonna bring it up right now on spot, because you know how we do. Let's talk a little bit about your perspective on morals and morals, right? Because BU is bigger than helping individuals with unshelteredness. BU is really an identity, right? Of course, you're in the business confidence cabinet, so we talk about this very often. Explain to the audience the concept in the sense of BU in the correlation of our morals, our morale in the workplace, how we show up then will reflect how we are inside of the business, the people who we attract, the opportunities we have to connect with people while we're working at the job versus having a perspective of, oh, I don't rock with nobody at this job. And when I start my own business, I'm not gonna let them down and I'm gonna be just shitting on them with my business. So let them know how being yourself, being you, your authentic version, walk them through your thought process of the becoming of who you are now and how that empowers others.
I would say because again, like I say, I started it because I don't like to put food away. So I had stuff that I'm gonna make use for it. But also I think about the times where, like, I never went without. My mama always made sure we had, but it was an extra strain on her, extra work on her, causing her to miss moments because she was making sure we had X, Y, and Z. And you just think about, things. Some people really don't have people. Like I had people, and there was times where I felt alone, where I felt like I didn't have anybody, even though the proof was in the pudding. The people were around me. I had them, but I didn't feel like I did. So to think about somebody who really think about somebody who really don't have anybody. They really, really don't have anybody. And sometimes all it takes is to help that one little push, that one little something from somebody to get you to make your next 6 months look completely different from your last 6 months. And I feel like I have a healing spirit. I attract broken people, and I always leave them better than how I found them.
Right.
So if I could just be me, like I said, it's a cliche. Everybody feel like they can help people, but I really just I feel better when I make a little difference. It's like, dang, yes, I really did. So literally just having, I gotta be myself. I have to think about the times where someone else had to save. And put myself in somebody else's shoes where no one's coming to save them. So that could have been me. But it's not by the grace of God, but it could have been. So I'm not gonna treat you no different because I could have been you. I've been behind on my bills before, but I cashed in a 401k to pay this off, or we did this, or we did that. So it's like that could have been situations that could have been. And if I was you, I wouldn't want somebody to treat me bad just because I'm out here. Like just because you feel like you're in the car and you got your air and I'm out here begging, that really don't make you no better than me. Because at the end of the day, when you go, that car not going with you, what you got, you can't take none of that with you. So it's about the inner you, like how do you really feel? Sometimes when I ride past them and they're big, sometimes I feel bad when I don't have anything to give, but I'm not gonna over it. Like if I don't have it, I just really didn't have it. But I do know in certain areas when I go, I know I'm gonna see somebody. So I might try to have something in there so I have something to give to you. Because you don't always have to give them money. Oh, I'm gonna try to give you some food, I'm gonna try to give you some of this, I'm gonna try to give you some of that. And sometimes I do give a little cash. If it's on my heart to give you the cash, I'm gonna give you cash. But if not, I'm gonna give you something that can contribute to your well-being, contribute to your life, that can add value. That hot meal is going to add value. You know, like it just.
I see exactly what you're saying there. So if I can summarize what I got from that as well, what I'm really hearing you say is that it takes the individual to already have morals within, right? It takes the individual to be clear on the different sections of life that they're in. Because like you said, maybe when we were younger and immature, we would see unsheltered person on the street, you don't want to go out my window open. Crackheads, especially from Savannah now. Big crackhead energy. But again, when you're changing your mind, when you're changing your perspective, overall, your morals change. And so then what I got from you saying in a sense about the morale is that even when you are in that experience of giving, the energy has to stay up. Even when, like you said, you see them and you're riding by, and this time you would have wished you had money, but the only thing you have is 12 bottles of water. You still got to keep that energy up and feel attractive enough to say, my morale is so up that when I wind this woman down and tell them that I got water, they're going to say yes, versus feeling like, well, I already know they only want money for drugs and different things like that. So that's what I'm getting from you when I hear you be inside of the space where we talk about the morals and morale, like keeping your energy up for giving, keeping your energy up for not feeling like, again, just because I got my big house, my car, all of these things, that the people who are unsheltered are below, right? And staying inside of that mind space again of being clear on your values, because literally anything can happen. It could be a natural disaster. And now the same person who was hesitant on giving is now the person that needs. And I also find sometimes too that when it's time for people to give, sometimes we hear a lot of backlash of, oh, I would give, but, oh, I would, but. And it's like versus focusing on reasons why in the past we did not, Just try to focus on right now. Tomorrow I can buy. Next month I will buy. Like being inside of that energy. So can you let the audience know as we're wrapping, can you let the audience know what could help them change their mind if again maybe they didn't have high morals and morale in reference to being themselves enough to be the example to give? What advice would you give them?
Um, do a cleanse.
Hmm.
Just really sit and think about all the extra that you have in your house just to have it so you can feel like you have a lot. Like how many extra pair of socks that are in your drawer that you literally never wear. Or maybe you literally just, these are my house socks. I literally just only wear these around. You got people who don't have socks at all. So just think about the extra. Are you holding on to that outfit that you haven't worn in forever and you know you're not going to wear it, or that you never wore, but but you just want to have it in your closet so you can feel like you have things. Yeah. You're just holding on to the things.
Yeah.
If you really get rid of that and find use for it, then you will really, and you holding on to some of that old stuff, that's really somebody else's blessing you're holding on to. So the blessing that's meant for you can't even come because you holding on to that. Yeah. So when you do get blessed, you're supposed to pour from your overflow.
Come on.
But if you just continue to hold on to your overflow, before you know it, your cup, it ain't gonna run over, it's gonna be completely empty. You're gonna be wishing it's running over, but you're not pouring from the right spots.
Yeah.
So it's literally just reevaluate what's really important to you. Now, yeah, we all like to work hard and like to have the nice things to show for. I like it look good for me, not to say I'm bigger than nobody, but it make me feel good. So I understand that. But just really reflect on all the extra that you're holding on to that you really don't need, that really can bless someone else.
Okay.
So just because it starts small, it doesn't have to be a big grand gesture. I'm not telling you to go out and spend your Sunday dinner money on trying to feed somebody on the street. Definitely not telling you to do that. But a lot of people, y'all kids, these new kids don't eat leftovers. That's cool. What you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Y'all let it sit in the refrigerator, then y'all throw it out. When you really could plate it up, warm it up, pass it on out. You really could make use for it. You teach your kids that early on. That adds value to them. And some of the kids feel too entitled and feel like I'm supposed to do this, or you're supposed to, and I'm supposed to have all these choices, but it's like, that's not always the case.
Right.
When our mamas cook dinner, you was eating what mama cooked. Mama wasn't going to 4, 5, 6 different places. Y'all eating what was cooked, and then y'all going to bed, and that's what it was. If you was hungry, you were going to eat it.
Yeah.
So literally just take inventory of your life and the extra that you have left over and find use for it. Even if it's not someone on the street, you may have a little cousin or your cousin friend. Like it's just you have people that you can help.
Yeah.
So you have to stop being selfish and stop thinking about what you can get. And well, I'm not gonna do that because it's not going to benefit me.
Yeah.
You have to take the selfishness out and really see what you can do.
Yeah.
Be you, basic essentials for your outreach and uplift. So even if you can't necessarily give, but if when you ride by, God bless you, I hope you have a wonderful, just words of encouragement sometimes. Don't just frying your face up and it's community service for your kids. Y'all can get together, make some sandwiches, hit the ground running. It's a lot of different ways that you can show up.
Yeah.
So just figure out how you can show up and show up.
Yes. And so before we end, I just want to talk about this really quick. Of course, again, with you being inside the Business Confidence Academy, every month, we have workshops in Savannah, Georgia, and let's recircle back around to back in when we had the business birthday bash in June. And do you remember how before then you just had a feeling that Goodwill was just not the avenue for you, right? So now we're just talking past experiences, and we don't, unless you want to share, we don't directly have to go into the reason why. We could explain, they would understand. But do you remember how powerful it was that you had the ball rolling. You still have the ball rolling, right? In reference to showing up, putting one foot in front of the other, doing what you can, like we talked about previously in the episode of not having all the answers, asking for help. So you remember we were at the business birthday bash and we ran into the vice president of mission services for Goodwill for the entire southeast region of Georgia. That was so powerful that day, right? And do you remember how we were there and you literally, again, because before this is the word that some of the audience needs to hear. And Nipsey Hussle said it. How long until preparation meets opportunity, right? So you have been preparing, but you still had a slight little thorn or thought process about giving, as some people may, because you had your feelings about goodwill. And then remember we talked to Ms. V and she immediately, instantly,
Whole perspective.
yes,
Yes.
right? And so let the audience know the power of a shift in perspective.
Okay, because, but I do know it's certain Goodwills. I'm not, so you have to do your research. But I just never liked Goodwill because I'm like, okay, you donate your things to them and they turn around and sell it. Not cool. But Miss B let us know at her location, which was the Sally Mood location,
Okay.
that they have services. So when you donate your clothes, all the money that they get from selling the items that you donate, it goes back into the community. It helps pay for them to get certifications, housing, just different type of things. So they literally pour back into the community.
Yeah.
So with her saying that, now I feel comfortable telling people, take the old clothes to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Because I tell them, take them to City Mission, take them somewhere, but don't just take your old clothes and throw them away. Take your old this, take it. It's used for them. You utilize what you have, like utilize what you have. But just speaking with her and knowing all the services that they actually provide, schooling, housing, like they provide a lot of different services, and it's through the giving, and but they put it right back into the community.
Yeah.
So had I not spoken up, because at first I was like, oh, why did she say Goodwill? And I wasn't even going to say, but they were like, I don't like Goodwill, but I'm glad I ended up telling her that because I would have never known that, and I would have still had this notion that Goodwill sucks. And don't do it. But now I'm an advocate, go to Goodwill. Certain Goodwills, I be telling them, you gotta check and make sure. Check and make sure, but go to Goodwill, drop it off Goodwill.
Yeah, so that perspective change even empowered you even the more to not only to see the potential of BU, but also from that connection. And like we talk about having that personal and professional confidence to speak up about your truth, because how you felt about Goodwill was just your truth, right? And because you were authentic, right tone, right energy, all the things we work on in the Business Confidence Academy, because you came with that proper energy. Not only that, but remember also, we have that connection pending still with us being leaders to teach those soft skills, right? So as we bring this to an end, I want you to tell the audience why it's important for them to be themselves and also where they can find you.
Well, I'm just saying, be you, because nobody else can. Drop that line.
Period.
Even if you got a twin, they still can't be right. So be you, because literally no one else can. And you can find me on LinkedIn at it's Quatanah Reeves, Quatanah Reeves, Reeves. I am in the works of getting the website and everything connected with BU. I'm actually going to try to connect it with it just for us because it all intertwined. And BU was built from just for us.
Right.
So I'm going to get that situated so you can have monthly donations can come in, and
This is
volunteers. We need money though. We also need people.
Yeah.
You know, you have your teenagers that need community service credits.
Yeah.
Different little things. You're trying to teach them a lesson. Yeah. Maybe they got in trouble, but you're trying to teach them how blessed they is. Send them on over and make them do a little, give back so they can see your mama. Hey, do better. So we just connect. Come on LinkedIn and connect with me to find out how you can make a difference. Whether you're giving, whether you're giving your time, whether it's sharing or letting someone know, whether you're giving me a resource to pass on. Quatanah Reeves on LinkedIn.
Yes, this episode was so good. Quatanah, I thank you for coming onto the Create and Grow Your Dream Business Podcast. I know that this obviously will not be our only feature because you are so good. And I thank you for your time. So, audience, if you ever have any questions, we already know that our podcast episodes are evergreen. So, whether you're listening to this now in 2025 or whether you're listening to this in 2030, right? Always drop your questions below. You always can find us on LinkedIn. We are always open to hearing your perspectives. What are some of the things that you heard in this podcast episode today that changed your perspective? Reach out to Quatanah, connect with her, connect with me, and until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.